Welcome to Hot Topics in International Trade, brought to you by Braumiller Law Group and Braumiller Consulting Group.
Hi, this is Bob Brewer with the Braumiller Law Group and Braumiller Consulting Group. Welcome to the podcast. With me, once again, some of you may already know her, is Victoria Holmes. She's my, I guess we would say ex at this point, podcast producer, but kind of,
I don't know.
Who knows? She's back and forth between Washington, D.C. with the dispatch and home here in Dallas. So she helps me out sometimes when she comes into town, but she's like my go-to on all these, just so you know. She's the one who helped me build the studio down the hall a long time ago. And, you know, this one I like a little bit better.
We've grown so much.
We have.
Yeah.
We have. But she's, you know, a good one to sit down with and chat. She knows a lot about what we do as far as, you know, keeping everything edited for me. You got to read some of the articles once in a while. She's been writing for us. One of our top authors, believe it or not, with J.D. Subra and Mondak. Yeah, but you even won another award. I can't announce it just yet. Yeah, I think you did. So, and I know I looked the other day. It's me and you all over J.D. Subra right now for the top 10.
Awesome.
Yes. So she's well-read author here. It's funny, you and me, the non-attorneys. But anyhow, I just wanted her to sit down with me because there's so much going on in the world right now. One thing off the top of my head this morning I've been watching on these podcasts, believe it or not, there was a coup attempt in China with the top military brass. The top two generals now are under investigation.
Yeah.
And Xi Jinping is taking over the military and things, I mean, the S has hit the fan up there.
Yeah.
It's incredible. You think, what? Yeah, this is what's going on in China.
Yeah.
It kind of is distracting from what's happening in Venezuela right now with what they had to do regime change. How's that all going down? But in the meantime, you know, there are other things going on in trade that I kind of want to focus on for a little bit. But I also, don't let me forget, I want you to talk about BRICS. You just updated your article on that. Meaning, is BRICS stalling right now? So
we'll see.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
there's been an update, so we'll see.
Okay, so, but first and foremost, too, I've written 4 articles for the upcoming February newsletter. Just because when I put the word out, hey kids, can you help me write? It fell on deaf ears this time. So you're going to get a lot of Bob for those. But this stuff that's going on right now, it's important. Yeah. One of which, Victoria, I will tell you, after 2 decades of failing to come to an agreement, the mother of all deals has now been done. And this is between India and the EU. I mean, these two have been separated for so long and they finally come together. And this is huge. It's like a third of trade now. This is like, I don't know, it's 2 billion people within its collective region now. They're going to tap into this market. So that's been, I wrote it. I don't want to give away all my thunder here, but that article is going to be in the February newsletter. I wanted to talk to you about what happened recently, though, in the Davos speech by Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. I had to write about this because to me, this was huge because there was so much friction going into this. I mean, with President Trump saying there were going to be boots on the ground there, we're going to use military force if we have to. He was going to slap tariffs on some of the EU countries. Yeah. And Norway, if you don't give it to me, I mean, what? And so, I think my own personal opinion, a lot of peeps were kind of stepping back and saying, who's going to step up? Mm-hmm. And Mark Carney stepped up to the mic. So his speech kind of, wow, that took off because what he was saying essentially is this. If you're not at the table these days, you're on the menu. It's not a transition, what we're talking about right now. It's a disruption. All right. And this is how this works, he said. We middle powers unite. And that's basically the way this is going to go because we're talking about diversification from the United States of America.
Yeah.
A lot of countries now are thinking about trade with other countries. I wrote an article about that a while back, too. It was everybody's looking for a different option. And the obvious one at that time is China. I mean, EU and China right now, they're chatting this week about some huge deals that they're going to be putting together. I mean, India, China, Canada and China. Carney was just up there.
Yeah.
So, we have to notice these things from the perspective of, look what's happening to our allies in trade. Mm-hmm. The position that we had, where's this going?
Yeah.
Those things need to be taken into consideration. But, the thing about Greenland, though, I wrote an article about that because back when I wrote it, though, it was about, remember, you and I talked about this.
Yeah, we did.
It was really just about, come on, guys, it's about the minerals.
Yeah.
These rare earth deposits that got one of the best resources on the planet now.
Yeah.
So that's what that was all about. And I saw this 60 Minutes from Australia where they were actually the first 2 guys who went in.
Yeah.
That were negotiating with them. And they were like, the environmentalists were stepping up and saying, no, we don't want this, and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, but hey, we have to have it. It was the same thing Trump said. Yeah. Plus he throws in the Golden Dome, which Greenland will be part of. And then for national security purposes, to keep China out, to keep Russia out. It's like, yeah, all right. Because they're getting into the Arctic now. I wrote an article about that, where these ice busting ships are up there now. They're trying to form new trade routes in the Arctic. Mm-hmm. That's into consideration. But, Greenland to me, these people, I really want to see them benefit somehow.
Yeah, for sure.
I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, we have no idea what's going on. And obviously the prime minister there was saying, look, we don't want to be part of the United States of America. So all this talk, you need to chat with us first.
Yeah. I think it's incredibly annoying how President Donald Trump went about the Greenland issue. I think that I understand that one of the main issues when it comes to like harvesting minerals from Greenland is like the environmentalists. And you said, there was a 60 Minutes, but I saw the same one.
Oh, you did?
Where 2 Australians tried going in, and then they put a lot of investment, and then at the end of the day,
they were
came
keeping
in.
them out. Like, hey, no, and they're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so you definitely, I mean, like that's definitely the main opposition when it comes to Greenland. But then you have like this take it mentality that President Donald Trump was kind of like pushing forward, that it was kind of like, no, like we want Greenland, but we don't want to give Greenland an offer that they can't refuse. You know what I mean? Like we want them to be like, oh, okay, yeah, like this seems like something that would be beneficial to both of us. And at this point, it's like, I don't even know where the conversation is.
Well, here's the thing. If it was about, it could have gone about it in a totally different way. We've always been able to have a bases there.
Yes.
Military bases.
Yes,
I mean, at one point,
yeah.
I think we had as many as 10.
Yeah.
So that was never a point of contention with them.
I don't know where the issue is at, like where it stands right now, because it seems like Donald Trump kind of backed off a little bit.
He pretty much had to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. So it's like, now what's next? Like what did you expect to happen? That Greenland was going to be like, oh yeah, come in.
Well, what happens now is that the damage is done.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what happens now. The damage is done with the EU.
So
we're no longer, our stature as a NATO partner has been diminished.
Yeah.
That's what happens now.
So yeah. So I don't think there's going to be really a path forward for us for Greenland in the near future, which kind of sucks, because I was really very excited about having some sort of deal with Greenland and minerals and all that kind of stuff. But at the moment, it seems like that Trump's stance on that has kind of backed off, and like you said, the damage is already done. So I don't know if there's any plans.
I don't know. Money talks. If 60,000 people there can all have a mansion, and we pay for it, maybe. But I agree with you. But that's where we are right now.
We're kind of on pause right now.
Well, trade with the U.S. is going to be, we're shifting. I mean, there's a bit of decrease in trade with Canada from 75% coming into the U down to 67% just in the last 6 months. I mean, it's going to continue to diminish.
Yeah.
That could be the same thing with the EU now. They're all looking for alternatives to us because we can't be trusted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the problem we're having. I mean, our growth is going to spiral down.
Yeah. What is this Carney? What were you talking about, Carney? You mentioned Carney.
Well,
did you see
Canada?
Did you see
Mark Carney?
The glasses of Macron? He was wearing his glasses.
Yeah, I mean, they were making fun of him. I tell you, who was there though? The funny thing, Gavin Newsom was there, the governor of California, and he was actually, handing out knee pads.
Yeah.
I mean, physically brought knee pads like, this is you people kneeling in front of Donald Trump, and you need to stop that. Get up off your knees or wear these knee pads.
I would have more respect for him if California wasn't the mess that it is right now.
When it's like the 4th largest economy, you got to give them some credit. I mean, they've got the clout when it comes to trade.
California the credit. I don't give Gavin Newsom the credit.
Okay. Now, these are all opinions of the Dispatch.
No, it's not. No, they're not. These are all personal opinions of mine, not opinions of my employer. These are all my personal.
We'll disclaim that.
Disclaimer. Yeah, thank you. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get that, but still, he's a voice. He's going to be running for president in 2028. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah, he's not going to win though.
Well, we'll see. He's positioning himself kind of towards the middle now.
Right now, he's.
Her prediction with you, Gavin. Sorry, but
sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
So I wrote about that. Yes, that's it. I also wrote about the upcoming USMCA, CUSMA, TMEC, wherever you are in the world. This review. This is huge too, because, the USMCA is just a blockbuster of a trade deal. It's been going on for decades, and for us to go in, and I don't see this going well based on the current position of the government here and how they're looking at it. But if we blow it up, that's not going to be good for us, Mexico, or Canada.
How would we blow it up?
We would blow it up. You can actually have a formal exit. We just say no, thank you, and you go to, Mexico. You want to do a deal with Canada? Go ahead.
How likely is that going to happen?
Well, how likely was us to go, say what we said about Greenland or going to Greenland? How likely was it that we were going to go into Venezuela? I don't know, Victoria. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there could be a formal exit. We're just signing on the dotted line that within 60 days we're out.
Yeah.
You call it what you want, do your own agreements, but we're out.
Yeah.
Then we go off to the side and we form our own agreement, maybe with Mexico, maybe not with Canada, but the USMCA is done.
Yeah.
As far as a treaty. And that would be sad.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be really, really hard to undo based on the supply chain. She's being so commingled. I mean, for God's sakes, you talk about even in automotive parts that go across border, could be 11 times before they ever get into the car.
Yeah.
It's just, it's insane. So I did write about that because of what I did essentially, there was 5 different scenarios that were in there as to how this could go. Real amicable, yeah, right? Or a total disaster,
yeah,
where there's a formal exit. Ugh. So yeah, I just wrote about that. But, I also did write up, I fluffed it up a little bit. So come on, if you're reading this, people in the government do read what we write.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that this really should not be anything less than a very amicable negotiation between these 3 countries moving forward.
Yeah.
Key operative words. We're moving forward.
Yeah.
That's what should happen in that road. Yeah. So last time we made some tweaks in this last review. This time, who knows? Yeah. But I did write about that. What else did I write about? I think in the long run, what's important though is that I want to keep an eye on different things around the world through, I don't know what you guys do out there for, to keep up. I have CNN on in the background during the day.
I don't.
I have to, because I'll give you an example. When I was writing this article about Carney's speech in Davos, I was getting feeds in on CNN in the background that were updates.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, now we changed course.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Oh, crap. And I have to go back to my first sentence or two and tweak that. That's kind of how things are coming down.
Yeah.
It could be a tweet in the middle of the night. I mean, you could write an article that's outdated the next day.
Yeah.
So I keep CNN on in the background. I mentioned this before to you. There's basically East Asia Tonight with Ateli Edwards, and she's really good. But if you look at East Asia Tonight, it's a good program that gives you a totally different perspective, kind of, for the most part. They're doing a lot of Trump too, because he's out there on the global stage. But they also give you insight as to what's going on with Korea. We're ready to slap new tariffs on them because they didn't come up with the yes. But what's going on in the Indo-Pacific with various countries between Taiwan and blah, blah, blah. Because Japan's really stepped up to tell China that, you invading Taiwan, that's not going to happen. Yeah. Obviously, if Taiwan's involved with something like that in a confrontation with them, Japan's going to step in. Yeah. That drags us in. Who knows after that? But, I think, honestly, that Xi Jinping in China are not in the place to do anything militarily right now.
No.
And may not be for quite a while until they get that all shaken out. But you wrote an article on this not too long ago too, and it was basically if there was an invasion in Taiwan, you wrote about, look at the carnage in trade that's going to happen. The amount of trade that, I don't know what the trillion or something, but a majority of it was China's trade.
Yeah.
You're locking your own trade down.
Yeah.
That's going to kill a lot of businesses in China.
Yeah. It would also be interesting to see what the alignment would be. Like if there were to be a war, who would India side with? Who would all these other countries side with?
That's...
And Russia's been, doing the war in Ukraine for about 6.
Russia's tapped.
Years. Yeah. So,
you can see Russia. Look what they did very little when we went into Iran. I mean, they did very little when we went into Venezuela. I mean, they're so tapped right now. I mean, think about it. They were even getting weapons from North Korea at one point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that tells you a lot. Yeah. They're in. I mean, resource wise, the people are revolting there a little bit. They can't really come out in the streets, so they're going to be arrested and thrown in jail. But you think about how this whole wave could happen at some point. But like with Xi Jinping, did you ever think that the military would have a coup recently?
Yeah. There's
going to be kind of an uprising. And I always thought that it was going to start with one of the oligarchs because they've lost billions in this deal. Matter of fact, he's robbing the oligarchs. Yeah. He's taking back a lot of that money right now. So one of them's going to step up and say, that's it. You want to destroy my life? I'm going to take
Well,
yours.
wasn't that there? Maybe this is not a good time to bring it up, but there was this one businessman who was sort of speaking out.
And he was stripped him of everything. He was a banker. He was one of the top. I can't remember his name, but he was one of the top bankers.
I see his face.
So he took away everything he had.
Yeah.
And that was a lesson to him all.
An example of.
Yes, exactly. He's made a lesson. He took everything he had.
Yeah.
Shut him down.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that there is that. You have to think about it. As far as the alignment goes, though, I mean, that's a good question. You know, if we're stepping on our allies around the world right now, which we are, you know, and something like that takes place, would Australia jump in because Japan's involved?
I think they would. Yeah. They need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they would.
Because I even put, it's so crazy right now. I even put at the end of my article that I wrote about, you know, it was global chaos and global trade, the new world disorder and the ensuing economic carnage. I just went bit by bit through this and Russia was the first example of how they destroyed their economy with war. Then Taiwan was the second one, and I went into what's happening in Iran and blah, blah. At the very end, I said, you know what? What if we invaded New Zealand? And I thought, what the hell? You know, well, what if?
Don't give anyone any idea.
Yeah, so you Kiwis better stay frosty. But it's a good example of it sounds as crazy as it's going into Greenland.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just that's the way of the world right now.
Yeah.
Look at everybody who's like, whoa, wait a minute. The U.S., let's put up some barriers now and let's protect ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of where we are with it. But that was again, I wrote a lot of articles, if you've ever followed me on my writing and my digressions, but I wrote a lot about when war first happened in 2022. I predicted, like a lot of other people, this was going to destroy Russia's economy. Mm-hmm. You know, this 5-day special operation. No. And honestly, I'll say this. I wanted to a while back, but I'll say this. NATO Schmado, we should have stepped in at that point and said, you know what? Based on what we think, and this is no 5-day endeavor here, Putin, it's going to cost us and the EU and Canada and a lot of other countries billions of dollars to come to their rescue. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to put this to rest right now. You step one foot in that country, in that sovereign territory, and we're coming down on you like a ton of bricks. Mm-hmm. And that would have been it. First tank in and we just smash it all to hell.
Yeah.
So all that money that we've spent over the last I mean, that's the way I would have approached it. Just don't do it. Period.
Yeah.
You know, waiting for all of these other things to happen. No. Because we sat on our thumbs when he, you know, Crimea.
Yeah.
And that's why he's, I can do this. Let me, 2014, they let me take Crimea.
Yeah, like I'll go in. Oh, no.
This will be easy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But if anything, Ukraine's taught a lot of countries how to make drones.
Someone from Ukraine. I was at a happy hour in DC like last Thursday.
Yeah.
And this girl came up to me and she recognized me because of where I work. And she came up to me and she was like, "Oh my goodness, like, are you Victoria?" I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Oh, like, I'm a fan of the Dispatch because a lot of conservatives aren't talking, or like, they're not pro-Ukraine. You know what I mean?
They're not pro-Ukraine.
They're not or she hasn't seen any conservatives that are pro-Ukraine. And she came here right when, I think right when the war started. And her city, I can't remember what the name of the city was, is like right where the war zone is. Ooh. And so she's like, yeah, like she came over here and she's found a life in DC and has married, you know, but that's her home. And it was interesting because someone started speaking to her. Another guy came up and started speaking in Ukraine. And then she was like, "Thank you for not speaking to me in Russian." Because that apparently, yeah, like she knows Russian, but she's like, it's like an insult to them, which was very interesting to hear. Just interesting perspective.
And one of my favorite groups is a white Russian. I can't even call it that anymore. What do I call it? White Ukrainian or?
Just make up your white Bob.
White Bob.
There you go. Yeah.
White Bob. Yeah. But Victoria, I have no idea where we are on time right now because you didn't set the time.
No, I did. I did set the time, and we've already passed it.
We passed it? Yeah. Sorry, guys. So obviously we've gone over our 15 minutes. Yeah. But, hey, thanks for stopping by, Victoria. I really appreciate it. See you on the next podcast.